Alrighty, folks. We are officially live in the flesh. Let's go, baby. So let's rearrange, let's organize. And I wanted to talk about something today. Now, I might actually be holding up a stack of, a million different credit cards in my hand right here, right? Like a million different things. There might be what I'm doing right now. And while all those credit cards are great, right? All of this entire stack that I just, put down here and it's now exploded onto the counter is, it might be great. There are a separate section of cards that also are great that I think have gotten a bad name over the years. And that happens to be the ones that you might have seen on the thumbnail, that being all the American Express credit cards that are out in the world right now, and all the ones that I have and have had over the past, maybe 5, 6, years now. And I wanted to, oh, look at this, we missed the Hilton Surpass. And what I wanted to do in this video here was actually a challenge by my good man Chad's Money Minutes. You guys know and love him. He issued a challenge to me and a few other content creators to talk about what if there were a world where American Express cards just didn't exist? What if this didn't happen? And of course, we have the glasses on today because there's only two reasons that we have these on, the Elvis shades. It's either we're drunk, which we're not, or we're talking about American Express and trying to be ballish for a moment. So I'm going to take these off for a moment and really connect. So his challenge was that think about a world in which American Express never existed. And I thought that was fairly interesting because when he mentioned that, and over the time of me preparing for this live stream, I kind of thought, it's even though American Express has gotten such a bad name over the past few years and credits and all these different things, how soon sometimes we do forget of all of the highs that we've also gotten from American Express over the years. So I kind of wanted to outline a few things first, and then I'll, all you guys that are here, appreciate you all being here. But for the people watching the VOD and for you guys, let me just go on a little bit of a rant. So I started out with American Express with a few different cards. I got the green, the gold, and the platinum all within a year of each other. After that, I ended up shortly getting the Hilton Surpass card, and then I got a second, actually, platinum card, and then I got the Delta Gold card, and I believe that's all my annual fee cards. I think at the peak, the annual fees were around $2,500 across all my Amex cards now. And nowadays, it's closer to like 500. I've cut dramatically on all of my American Express cards, cut $2,000 worth of annual fees over the years. And, what I really wanted to start out with was, well, I had to think about everything that I've gotten over the years. And, oh, we're a little choppy. I appreciate it. You know what? I'm going to do this. That might help. All right, let me know if that helps. So I wanted to start out with all of the points that I've accumulated. So from the top down, all of the points that I've accumulated from Amex over the course of 5 years of getting all their cards was about, I think, about 400,000 or 450,000, something like that. So call it 450,000. And one thing I realized with all the points that I've earned on these cards over the years was that even though I've earned a lot of membership reward points with Amex, I never actually used them for vacations, so to speak. I mean, I transferred a little bit of Delta, a little bit, but most part, I've cashed out a lot of points, over 100,000 for this MacBook that I'm actually streaming on right now that hopefully is not buffering as much. And that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But later on in the story, you're going to see that, like, the points currency, at least for me right now, isn't necessarily the most important, but it was kind of all the things along the way. So I wanted to, go back in time and see what I would not have had. Like, what are all the experiences that I never would have experienced had I not been in American Express from early on? So first and foremost, like starting from the beginning, the Amex Gold, the green, and the platinum. If you really kind of look at it, if you talk about the gold and the green, the only things, like if these cards never existed, the only things that I would have never experienced was one, I guess, burning and microwaving and burying a card, right? The green card that I destroyed. I never would have experienced that. The second thing is the green, nothing else. There was nothing else. I never used Lounge Buddy. I never used the clear because I had it on my platinum card. I never used anything else on the green card. So if that never existed, my life would be no different other than the welcome offer of like 45,000 points. The Amex Gold card, the only thing I would have missed out on, and I'm not talking like experience and holding the card and the feeling of it, I'm talking about like actual physical things that I've gotten from these cards. The gold card, if it never existed, I probably would have never found Bojangles because I wouldn't have been forced to, use my dining credit for Grubhub, and I would have never found my Grubhub, right? And I never would have found never would have found my Bojangles or certain foods that you would get through either the Uber Eats that you're ordering through your $10 a month monthly dining credit, or the Uber Cash, or the $10 monthly dining credit. So the green and the gold for me, I'm like, I get it, I've loved it, but my life wouldn't have changed if it never existed. Um, the third card in my Amex lineup happened to be the Amex Platinum card, right? Like a lot of people are, that a lot of it's the most controversial card in the world. Okay, it's the most perfect card, and it's funny because after I went, before I just went live with you guys, I just recorded a whole thing of literally all my experiences in depth, but I'm kind of doing a little bit more abridged here. But with the Platinum card, I would have missed a lot. I will say, if if American Express never existed and the Platinum card never existed, and there was never another company that, that had, all these lounges and all these different things, I think I really would have missed out on a couple things. Like, had I never had a Platinum card, well, one, I never would have been forced to use my $200 hotel credit. That's the first thing. Of course, you get the credit, you want to use it. And I've loved that. That has been one of my favorite perks on the Platinum card over the past four plus years, bar none. It has really elevated my hotel experience, like to no degree. Being able to go to some of these hotels and getting $100 experience credit, whether getting the wife the spa or eating at the on-site restaurant, stuff I love and stuff I talk about a lot, and now I'm getting through MasterCard. But without that initial experience of Amex kind of, we'll say what we got to say, right? They force us to use the credits. Nobody's forcing you, buddy. Um, I wouldn't have never, I would have never experienced, I guess, more luxurious hotels, because at that time I was still only doing Garden Inns and Hampton Inns and all these different things. So I love the Platinum cards because if it never existed, I never would have had that experience, and now I wouldn't do it today. The second thing, and really something I could never live without, and that is the Saks credit, right? Listen, I've bought bow ties. I've gotten shirt. I'm just kidding. No, the Saks credit is, come on. What are we talking about here? Go sell your Saks on eBay. I'm just kidding. Um, then the next thing is the lounge access, which is obviously the main benefit and what a lot of people really love. And what I really love, and I've talked about, had the Platinum card never existed, and I never had the card to begin with, I will say I would have missed that. Knowing what I know now, and it's like, oh, Amex never existed somehow in this weird world, this time machine where this doesn't exist. Um, I would have really missed out, because some of my most favorite experiences, just traveling in general, have all been through the lounges, just like running through the airport with either my wife or just like even Calby. We travel a lot together. We love each other. Um, but going to all these different land, like the Sky Clubs, like we just went to like 3 or 4 for New Orleans, right, or whatever it was, and I did like even more for last year's Vegas trip. So I don't fly often, but when I do, I really enjoy the lounges. And going in there, and you have a quiet time, and I mentioned on a video earlier, but or a couple of weeks ago, but my wife sitting there and being like, wow, I'm in bliss, wow, it's calm here, it's very cool. And you get the free food. I was making tacos, and you get a bunch of rice and stuff and free drinks, and you get drunk before your flight. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing, and the general population has no idea that exists. Most people have no idea a lounge exists. Most people sit at the terminal, you ask them, and they just have no idea. Chad, 20 minutes in the house, and I'll go to Chad in a moment. Chad, this is for you. What if Amex never existed? So without the Platinum, I would still be just, is there a term for that? Like terminal hogs or something? I don't know. Is there like a term for that? A term for the terminal? People just hang out at the terminals. So like if I never experienced the Platinum card, I would have never had the lounge access, and I never would be, I don't know, just way more excited to fly, because I'm already afraid to fly. I'm one of those freaking weirdos who are just afraid. And being able to like go to my home airport and go to the Escape Lounge, even though I know Priority Pass has it now, it didn't have it before, with the Platinum, getting these free drinks, getting drunk before all these things, I would have really loved it. And the fact that we talk to anybody, right? You talk to all these people who are non-credit card people, you talk to them, if you would describe a place, like if I talk to my parents, I describe a place that it's in the airport, and you can go in there, and sometimes it's free, sometimes you pay for people, and you go in there and it's quiet for the most part, and at least hopefully not busy, not crowded. You can sit down, you can have a drink, you can talk, and you can just watch all the people running through TSA like we were in New Orleans, and you can have a calm place to sit before your flight, they would say you're crazy. They would say it's impossible. You have to be a billionaire. You there's no way that it exists. And part of this is because I watched a video. Actually, I didn't watch it, but I just saw the thumbnail. Some guy made a video. It was called uh oh, anybody can get into these secret airport lounges, and he described, oh wow, balloons, look at that. Surprise. And I think in that video, I think, did I watch, I don't know if I watched it, but I think the intro, he was like, there are these secret lounges that most people aren't aware of, and you can go in here, and he's just talking about regular lounges like Priority Pass and all that stuff. And the fact that we kind of take it for granted a little bit, like going to these really, really cool lounges. I get we're paying for it. We're paying for the lounge access, but still, like, it's something that we know that a lot of people don't know. And without the platinum, I would have never experienced that. And I would have missed that. Yeah, I would have missed that because I don't think I was getting that anywhere else. I don't think there's any other cards that I would have like normally stumbled across. I mean, I guess if it's the same world, I would have thought like, oh, I can, Venture X, go to the Capital One Lounge, or I don't know, chase lounges, or if I eventually, upgraded my life and went to business class and all these different other lounges in different countries. Cool. But I never really would have, and since I fly Delta so much, like I never would have even come across these lounges, I never would have been able to. So I love it for that. And if that didn't exist, I would be maybe a little upset, just a little upset. Gold and the green, if I never got it, who cares? Platinum, yeah, I would be a little upset. The next one, sorry, I should be holding these up. The next one is the Surpass. The Surpass card, and this is stemming into maybe not necessarily, I mean, it's important with the card, but it's kind of coming of age and who you are when you get certain cards. And I remember at a time when I had the Hilton Surpass card, and actually I got the no annual fee Hilton card too, I think I got them within a few months of each other because I had to put enough spends to hit my. I put my wife's ring on all these cards. I got the Sapphire Preferred and got the no annual fee card, so I had to put them on to get the. I got points back for the ring. Anyway, so the Surpass card at that time, it actually why? Oh yeah, I'm not even mentioned. So the no annual fee Hilton, which is Amex, and the Surpass card, which is now 150 annual fee, combined gave me, I think, 280,000 Hilton honors points and a free night certificate, and that was for only $3,000 worth of spend. So a very small amount of spend. This was years ago, and a lot of money. And basically, over that time, I was able to go full bore, like with all my Hilton points, and stay at Hilton's for years on those points. Honestly, 280,000 points and a free night certificate. So being able to take all of those points, because honestly, I wasn't looking at anything else. I grew up on well, initially roadway inns and what have you, but then eventually we graduated to like Hilton Garden Inns. So I grew up on that, and I didn't know anything else. So knowing how I am, I probably wouldn't have stumbled across Marriott cards or IHG cards. It's just not my experience. Without Hilton cards, I wouldn't have been able to experience. I think I used a lot of these points for. It was like a block. It was like a couple blocks away from Broadway in downtown Nashville. It was a True hotel. True Hilton brand. Very, very nice, very, very, upscale, modern. And then you can just walk right to Broadway, which is the crazy area of Nashville. I wouldn't have had that experience. I wouldn't have been able to stay and do the fifth night free. So 5 nights at the Hotel Ballast. It was Tapestry in Wilmington, North Carolina, which was like one of the best stays I've ever had. It wasn't even like the fanciest hotel in the world. It was just what it kind of symbolized, which we could stay here 5 nights, use our dining credits, and eat the best burger I ever had every single day of the stay, and like right on the water, just very relaxing. It was a very cool time, and a more tumultuous time for us, between both of us. And so I thought that was great, and I haven't been able to experience that. And there were so many other Hilton stays that I'm kind of forgetting. Also, the Mills House, like that's where I used my free night certificate in Charleston, which again I talk about like crazy because it was such a nice stay, and I only was there on one free night certificate, and then I think I had enough points to pay like a 2/3 of a night or something like that, and I paid cash for the rest. So it's like a few different vacations. In fact, probably about 3 or maybe 4 vacations with just those points from the welcome offers from the Hilton cards alone that I would not have had otherwise. And judging from a lot of these other, I don't want to say it, but looking at all these other hotel cards, like Marriott, of course, Boundless. If you can get the 5 free nights, that's cool. and a free night certificate after the first year. IHG, I just haven't gotten into it yet. I know they have like a 5-night offer right now on their Premier. But I just don't think I would have done it if Amex didn't exist. I don't know if I would have researched into it. I might have, I don't know. I might have just kept paying cash for hotels. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I would have got these cards, but I'm just thinking out loud. Like I knew Hilton, I loved Hilton, and I was able to amass a lot of Hilton, just because it's under Amex and it's pretty easy to apply for, and get approved for. And then I guess lastly would be the Delta Sky Miles, the Delta Gold Sky Miles. Again, a card that I've owned for a little over a year now. I got it just before the Vegas meetup last year because I needed enough miles to hopefully get a free flight. And luckily, the annual fee on that card is $0 for the first year. And then I had 2 flights with that card, and that's another card where, again, I guess I didn't really have experience with Delta too much. I oddly enough that I could see some corollaries between JetBlue and Delta now, just in the process and the way things felt. Maybe I'm crazy, but that's the way it felt. But I had a lot of friends and people tell me like, "Oh, Delta's cool." So I didn't really even think about United or AA and all these different airlines. I just kind of knew Delta, so that's what I wanted to go for. And since it was American Express, very easy to apply for. And to get the welcome offer, even though pop-up jail still ravaging the nation. So many people, I saw some people in the chat saying they're in pop-up jail. So hopefully a little solace. What would I have missed if Amex didn't exist and I couldn't get Delta cards? Well, I would have never flew Delta. as easy as that is to say, I probably would have never flown Delta. I don't think I would have transferred my Amex points. What am I saying? Amex doesn't exist, right? So there are no Amex points. So I wouldn't have flown Delta. I would have flown, United, what have you. And in fact, now that I'm here in Greenville Spartanburg Airport, I never even looked, but I don't even know what airlines we have here. We actually have a good amount of Delta, and the layovers always in Atlanta. And I guess that also feeds into it because if I didn't have the Delta card, I wouldn't have been able to get these flights with all the the welcome offer and fly to Atlanta and enjoy literally a Delta Sky Club in every single concourse, right? Like I could have done, I wouldn't have done all of that because I guess that those things wouldn't have existed for me without a platinum and without Delta Sky Miles. So I don't know. I guess that's basically everything that I wouldn't. And I guess technically with the Delta Sky Miles, it has that Delta Stays credit, so I wouldn't have stayed at the ancient lore village, that Hobbit village. Me and Calby, we became real hobbits for a day. I wouldn't have done that because I wouldn't have checked on Expedia to go book that for no reason. We had the Delta Stays credit. Where are we going to use it? Oh, here's a Hobbit village. Very cool. so I wouldn't have had that, and that's the biggest travesty. So I guess across all of these cards, the platinum, the green, the gold, the Hilton Honors cards, the Delta cards, all my Amex cards, I wouldn't have had all of those different experiences. And it leads me to think like, yeah, all the 450,000 Amex points I've had over time haven't really been fully utilized. Like I transferred 150K to Air France that I'm hoping will, I'm going to use it in an optimal way. I don't know where yet, but we'll see. I'm always up in the air with these freaking points and miles, where I'm flying and if I can. And so then maybe that will come into fruition one day. But right now I haven't used it. It's just sitting there. The only thing I really used out of these whole 450,000 points was cashed out at 1.1 cents per point with the Schwab, cashed out a little over 100,000 points, and I paid for this MacBook that we're streaming on right now. So that was valuable. I like the option of cashing out like that, but it's also not necessarily unique to Amex. I could have cashed out Chase points at 1 cent per point too, and we would have been fine. So I would say that's all the things I would have missed out on. And I really try to think, and kind of the last part of this is how would I have, replaced all of those experiences otherwise? Like if Amex didn't exist, how would I have done any of those things? And truthfully, I really don't know. I mean, maybe if I was knew what I knew now, I would have gone really heavy Chase, maybe really early on. And if I knew there was no Hilton, I wasn't going to do Hilton hotels. There's no Hilton cards. Maybe I just would have went even crazier with Hyatt early on and would have accumulated a lot of Chase points. And then it led me thinking well, early on, I wasn't getting business cards either. So I'm not able to get these 50,000, ink cards that I'm applying for like crazy, every single friggin', it seems like every week I'm getting new ink business cards. So I don't even know. Like I Sapphire Preferred, 100,000 points. I got that. Chase Freedom Unlimited. Maybe I could have got a Flex as well. Another 40,000 points at that time, or at least 30,000 now because they lowered the welcome offer. But it wouldn't have been as much as all of the stuff I've gotten from all these cards over the years. I really have no idea what I would have done. Maybe I would have tried out Priority Pass, and maybe I would have, like some people describe, at least in the U.S., some maybe a subpar experience, like Calby recently in New Orleans, where he doesn't have his platinum and he's like upset that he can't get into these certain lounges, and Priority Pass just didn't treat him well. So I don't know. I thought it was very interesting, and I appreciated Chad doing this whole challenge video. Just like, what if Amex never existed? And I kind of want to hear what you guys have to say. I'm going to go through the chat in just a second. But at least in my mind, I don't think I would have been able to replace that high of a caliber of experience over this time. Otherwise, nowadays, now that we know it exists, we can get a little crafty, like, oh, MasterCard can replace FHR. Maybe all my Chase points, I could still book Delta, but with all these ink cards and all the points I'm earning on Chase through the portal. Hilton hotels, what are you going to do? Maybe you can transfer. No, I don't know. I probably wouldn't have. I would have just been all in Hyatt and Marriott. So I thought it was fairly interesting, and I appreciate Chad for the challenge. I don't know this. I just went off the top of my head. I don't know if that's. I don't know if I should close it all off. But maybe we'll just head to the chat and we'll talk to people. But first, I would be remiss if I missed super chats. Xavier, appreciate you, sir. We would save a lot of money on annual fees. That's true. That's true. Now, I actually just recorded right before this. I went through, like, I don't know, one of those like annual fee videos, like, all, the annual fees I paid over the years and was it worth it and all those different things. And one thing I really found after doing a little bit of math was that, yeah, knowing who I am, I probably should just have a platinum card, like applied maybe now, like now at this age, I should get the platinum, maybe not even. Gold card, I could have canceled after the first year. Green, I could have canceled after the first year. I made an example that, since I cashed out a lot of my Amex points, and that was the main things that it's really the only use of my Amex points so far until I start transferring them in the future. Like 100,000 points for this MacBook. So talk about the green, like my Amex green card when I first got it many years ago. This was my example, and to your point, Xavier, I got a welcome over 45,000 points, so that was cool. And those points, pretty much, I would say, never got used until I just cashed them out recently for the MacBook. Call that 1.1 cents per point times the 45,000 membership reward points. Call it $500 in value. But would you be surprised if I told you that I paid the $150 annual fee on the green card for like 3 years? 3 years without using Lounge Buddy, without using Clear, because Clear I think was added last year anyway. But for 3 years paying $150, that's $450, and I got back $500 in value. So like literally eating into that welcome offer every single year. And one of my like lessons in this video I just recorded before, which was like, reevaluate, look at where the welcome offer is. Don't be afraid to cancel cards just because, I was afraid at that time, afraid of everything, right? So I was just like, maybe it's worth it. I don't know. Maybe it'll be worth it in the future. But I'm totally a fan of now, just like if a card doesn't make sense, cancel it. If you think it'll make sense later down the road, then reapply for it then, or, maybe upgrade or downgrade them depending on which other cards you have. Find an easier way, because great, 45K points. I thought I was on the moon, until you actually look at the math over time and you realize like, oh, I wasted most of that welcome offer on annual fees. So it's a good point. It's definitely a good point and something to consider. Sorry. So thank you, Xavier, for that. And it's Steve Dedidid, 5 spot. Appreciate you, sir. Appreciate you. 1,000 reasons for being grateful. Yes. It's not death by 1,000 cuts. It's I don't know. Is it? I'm going to say something really stupid. I'm just going to stop. Alive by 1,000 kisses? No, I'm just kidding. But yes, it's totally being grateful for what we have, what we can experience, and that we're in a position to pay annual fee cards. That's something that I think a few people talk about from time to time. It's like, we're lucky we can even pay an annual fee on a certain card. For a lot of people, $695. I mean, that's like a grocery budget for a few months. Maybe not you guys, because I know you guys watching, you guys have crazy freaking food budget. You're paying $1,000 a month or something, $500 a month on food. Mike Newland, appreciate you, sir. They may not have been a points and miles game if there was no American Express. Interesting. That's interesting. Huh. What do you guys think about that? Before I go into the rest of the chat, that's a good point, Mike. By the way, Mike, how you liking your shirts? How you liking your Anthony Venture shirts? Are they treating you well? They're supposed to go through like 10 washes and you're fine. I don't know. But I think that's a good point because one of the biggest criticisms of American Express is that, well, they basically will, if you have a pulse, they'll give you a card. That's like the main thing that people mention. If you even resemble a human, like if you're alive in some way, they'll give you a card. Doesn't matter whatsoever. Even though really, I mean, you still need the score of like 670 or higher, what have you. I don't know if I heard anybody get approved under like 650 or something like that, but that might be part of why the game is so popular, because their cards are so easy to get, fairly easy to game, get a lot of points, and for a lot of people getting a lot of value from all their their points and some of their cards and some of their experiences. So it's also like the more sexy of the cards, right? It's I don't know how you would equate it, but it's more you're more excited to talk about Amex, I guess, at least over the years of credit card YouTube. So maybe just talking about a simple, Chase Freedom Unlimited, 1.5% back is like, who cares? What do I care about? But I guess that the do you call it like, I don't know, the culture of American Express and what it's culminated over the years, even though it's a little bad now, really got a lot of people in the game. So Mike Newland, that's a good point. That's a very good point. I think you're right on that. I think that's important. And now it's like, since we're all in, now everyone's starting to look at all the different ecosystems. Now Citi wasn't talked about years ago, really. Now all of a sudden people talking about Citi. Now Wells Fargo is kind of in the game. All right, now we're talking about Wells Fargo. I didn't really hear these when I was starting the credit game. All I heard was Amex and Chase, really. So it's pretty interesting. So thank you for that, Mike. I really appreciate it. Let me go up and see how you guys reacted to certain things. So M to the K first. Appreciate you, man. Brad G, howdy. What's going on? Vincent Pasquale, how's everything, man? Points Precision, how are you? It's Lazy. Just came back from vacation. The first thing I see in the stream. Yeah, I know. You wrote that right when we saw this. That's right. Let's shift to the glasses, baby. Let's do it. Jacob, what's up from Sweden? This dude, Jacob, there's never a time he's not traveling. He's like the only other person other than Sean Lane that you can like call him on any given Sunday. I mean, I don't call Jacob, maybe he wouldn't answer. But you could probably call him on any given Sunday and he's just in a new country. Like it's crazy. CJ Bautista, yo, what's happening, folks? What's popping? Hey, everyone, Team Goal. Appreciate you, Mike. It's Chubby. Oh, yeah, thanks for saying that. Lonnie, what's going on, man? Kevin 91. If Amex never existed, I go to Capital, VentureX, or US Bank Altitude Reserve, or or every other credit card, or other credit cards that seem worth it to you. Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of value in a lot of cards. Peso, I just got the green card. Oh no! Listen, the green card is fine if you don't have any other option to get Clear. I think that's great. I think that's very valuable. A lot of people make fun of Clear, but I just happened to have a great experience with them in New Orleans and got through TSA line way quicker. So that was pretty cool. So I don't feel bad about having the green. Use your Lounge Buddy, use your Clear credit if you can use it. If you don't have a Platinum already or other cards that give you Clear, enjoy it. But again, don't learn from my mistake. God damn, no, I'm kidding. But learn from my mistake, Peso. If you don't want, if you're not going to use some of the benefits, get the welcome offer, and then maybe get out next year. This way you're not eating into that those annual fees aren't eating into your welcome offer. Clairvoyant, what's going on? I just had Bojangles for the first time in Charlotte's airport, and it was terrible. Don't get it at the airport. When are people going to learn? All right, at the airport, you eat at the lounges. Out and about, you come to Greenville and you get some Bojangles. I'll show you some good spots for Bojangles, and you won't forget it. All right, don't go to the airport. It's not going to give you a good experience. CJ Batista, this is the perfect topic. I'm an Amex pop-up jail. I'm starting to see. I don't know if it's just more people are applying for Amex cards recently. I don't know if it's just like more of a thing right now, but I'm noticing a lot more people talking about pop-up jail again. And I don't know if like we've just been in pop-up jail this whole time. We just haven't applied, or, if it's like back and worse, worse than ever. So I don't know, but I'm sorry. Really sorry for your, my condolences. Anthony Bove, what's popping? Ian, hello, sir. Hello. Appreciate you being here, man. And then, we got Chad earlier, the man who devised this whole stream. He said, Anthony, I need you to let us all know, what would you do if Amex never existed? And I said, all right, let's do it. Jessica, what's going on, Jess? When we talking about military credit cards, all right? Go follow Jess Peoples over there. She's gonna be talking about some military benefits. Truth, we had the platinum since 2017, but I didn't know what I could use it for. Well, I didn't also realize after from my last video talking to John Baker, all of the benefits you get just by being in the military without having credit cards. I didn't realize that. Like obviously priority boarding, right? I guess, what is it, handicap and people in the service, in the military, you board first, so that's cool. But he said, like, depending on the airline, he's never gotten less than like 5 check bags for free just by being in the service as well. Certain lounges will actually allow you to get, well, they'll allow you to get into the lounge if you are a military member. Some of them, if only if you're wearing uniform, he said, which was pretty interesting. I think it might have been, was it Alaska or something like that? I forgot what he said. Only if you're in uniform, which is a little odd. But then he told me, he was like, well, we're kind of debriefed to not wear uniforms in the airport because it just makes you more of a target. So a lot of interesting things. I'm going to talk to him again in a couple days for more benefits like that for military and just other things. So that'll be cool. Steve, I call it Falutin and I cherish sharing it with my children. I call it Falutin. What does that mean? Steve, what does that mean? I need to know. Falutin. I'm not sure. We're going to have to come back to it. Kit Kat, I couldn't survive with my platinum gold. I know you couldn't, Kit Kat. I know. With the amount you're spending on your gold and the amount of airlines you're going to, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you need that. You absolutely need that. Kevin, you want to save money or save time? Your choice. What's your opinion, Anthony? Would I rather save money or save time? Well, I think that the equation kind of goes back to how much you're really making from your time. If you're in a if you're in a situation where, like the example is like, could I? And I'm not talking about health benefits, right? Just we'll forgo health for a moment. But some people would say like, well, if it takes you an hour to cook, and you make $40 an hour or $50 an hour, call it $50 an hour, then I guess technically on paper it would be wise to order Uber Eats that's $25 and just work for that hour, and you make the difference. Or I guess you'd end up kind of even then. But it might make more sense to just pay someone to do the thing and save your time. This way you could make more money or eliminate some distractions. So it's tough to say. It depends on your industry. Definitely save money if you're just, I don't know, you're in a job like I was as a driving teacher. I kind of did both because I would save time by telling the students like, hey, I got to your house in 10 minutes versus the 30 allotted that it would take you 30 minutes to get to the next student. But sometimes I get there in 5 minutes. Be like, hey, you want to go now? So you save 25 minutes. And if you do that enough students, you get home early. So you save some time and you still make the same amount of money. But yeah, I think the idea is if you're making, a certain amount per hour from your work, especially if it's uncapped work like YouTube or real estate or any other business that you run, that your time and your focus, you can make more per hour just by you being in the action and working on certain tasks, then yeah, it might make sense to save some time and pay for a driver, if you can work in the back of a car or, pay for food delivery, might make sense. Andrew, okay, question. So I went to the Plaza Premium Lounge at MCO in Orlando with my CSR and I brought 3 people and was never charged. Ever happened to anyone else? Oh, I don't know. I couldn't answer. I didn't do that yet. I don't have the CSR. But if people know, that'd be interesting. I haven't heard anything about that. And is that another thing? How many people can you bring with the Plaza Premium with the CSR? That's interesting. Filmo, how did I ever live without lounges? I'm bougie AF now. That's right. You really can't live without. I'm sorry. I know it's first world problems, but you really can't live without it once you experience it. Just. I felt like like someone said earlier, he's a villain now that he canceled his platinum. I felt like a villain in the Delta Sky Club in New Orleans because the way it's out, the layout is you can look out the window, you can see all the planes and stuff, but you could see down into the terminal of everybody like going through TSA and then running to their concourse or what have you. Their terminal, and you could just stand there, just like this, just looking at them, just like. You sad, you sad mother effer. I'm just kidding. Yeah. And oh, I'm sorry, I missed something. Paul Kasky. I love seeing the books, man. Paul, what's your favorite book? Let us know. I want to know. If Amex didn't exist, Karl Malden would have been out of work. I don't. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm missing some references here, but we're gonna look it up together then. That's what's gonna happen. Let's see. Carl. I'll put it on the screen. Carl. Is it MAL? MAL. People are gonna be like, Anthony, don't do it. Don't don't look him up. All right, let's see. Karl Malden. Who's this? Karl Malden. Wait, this isn't Mr. Magoo, is it? Oh god, am I gonna get killed for this? He kind of looks like, oh come on, he kind of looks like Mr. Magoo. Give me a break. Who is this? All right, maybe Karl Malden Amex. Look at this. Look at this goose chase. Karl Malden for Amex 1978. Huh. What did we? Don't worry. Wait, I'll get the sound for you guys. One moment. One moment. I think I gotta share it this way. Let me share it this way. Chrome tab. Yes. All right, you should be able to see this. And maybe here.
My wallet! You lose your wallet on vacation.
You see it?
You have no cash, no credit cards, nothing. What'll you do? What will you do? Rely on American Express traveler's checks. If they're lost,
Here he is.
you can get a full refund at over 60,000 places. American Express traveler's checks.
Ooh.
Don't leave home without them.
Love it. Oh, look at this. Who's this guy? Absolutely love
Google
it. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for that, Paul. I had no idea that was a thing. So now I know who Karl Malden is. Very nice. Very nice. And thank you for that very generous $20 super chat, man. I really do appreciate that. It means the world to me. As thank you. So I think some of you guys know. So thank you for that. And that reference. It's funny. He would have been out of work. Is that like all he did? Did he not do anything else but just Amex commercials? I mean, what did his Wikipedia say? Does Wikipedia say anything special? Let me see. Now you got me curious on this lonely man who doesn't have any work. Let's see. Karl Malden, 1912. Wow. Jeez. Early life. What is this? Can I see like his work? I mean, he was in some stuff. I don't see anything about. Oh, well, wait. Amex is a little later. Other work. They put it in other with the Amex. Come on, that's hurtful. Are we kidding me? That he also advertised with a famous opening line, "Do you know me?" These ads were occasionally spoofed on Johnny Carson. That's funny. Wow. Good reference. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate you, man. Let me move on. Let me see what's happening. Yuri. Come on, man. Get a Delta account. You know you want to, Yuri. Come on, you do everything else. Go get yourself a Delta account. Have some fun with them. I only booked Delta via Air France, and yeah, that's true. That's true. I have as well. How was your experience booking through Air France? Anything different? Anything special? Delta via Air France. Ian, pop-up jail here. Always looking for no lifetime link offers. Hell yeah, I'm with that. Yuri, Amex put me and player 2 in Hilton pop-up jail. Listen, don't just put it. Oh, Amex put you. Sorry, I thought you were blaming your player 2. But we recently got 4 Hilton cards. Very nice. Yeah, that's right, Yuri. You were telling me in New Orleans that you love you have a few different. Yeah, you have 4 different Hilton cards, and you're killing it with that. Let's see here. The shirts are great. Thank you, Mike. Well, thank you for friggin' buying them. I hope they're valuable. You know, I hear they're conversation starters. My friend Lalit, he got one, and he said he actually went to a Chase Bank with this shirt on, and they were questioning him like, what the hell, like what is that? You know, so I never thought about that. I thought that might be a funny video, just walking in and see the I don't know, is that like bad, sacrilegious? Dyro, hello. Would you recommend redeeming the travel credit on the Amex Business Platinum card without traveling? I mean, most people would say. You know, if we're talking the airline credit, you know, they're just going to say keep banking your United miles. You know, like I get you're not traveling now, but I guess the idea is like you would just keep building up your United travel bank with 200 a year, everything from the card, and then just at some point in the future you'll have a very nice United cash of cash to pay for those United flights. So that's probably the best way. I mean, I don't even know if I even heard of anybody gaming anything in any way with that necessarily, like other than just like booking a Southwest or a Delta flight with a gift card, like under $200, and that'll code towards the credit. I just like using it for like paying for my wife to get into the Delta Sky Club, because that, if it's your selected airline, will code towards the airline credits. So this way, at least four, since they're usually like $50 each, I can get her into 4 Sky Clubs, a year with my credit. But otherwise, I think they're all related to flying. Maybe other people are ways to game it. I'm not really actually too sure. Oh, and Yuri said Chase introduced UR in 2009. I didn't know that. Interesting. Victor says, I was thinking about getting the green card too. I have the gold and the plat. Girlfriend and I go to 2 to 3 cruises a year, and that's the only charge card that gets 3x back that doesn't require me to book through Amex. Yeah, I mean, I guess I would just consider like, well, one, you can't get that annual. I mean, you can't get the welcome offer on the green anymore since you already have the gold and the plat. Unless she's getting it and she doesn't have any, like she's starting out with green or something like that. I guess the idea is I would like, so you sound similar to how I was when I first got my green, card, when I first made it to this country. I'm just kidding. When I first got the green card, I remember I specifically got it on the premise that I would be possibly living out of Airbnbs full time. I've mentioned it before. But essentially, I was thinking of a world where would be cool, instead of like getting an apartment, why not just pay for an Airbnb every single month? And maybe it's $2,000 a month, right? And at that time in New York, that was a normal price. So it was like $2,000 Airbnb every month. And this was before cleaning fees, mind you. So it was actually pretty decent. And that's, $2,000 a month. That would code as 3x with the Amex Green. You're paying $24,000 a year. So, about 72,000 Amex points a year, easily outweighing the $150 annual fee. So I guess I would just consider like, how much are your cruises? Like if your cruises are only 2,000 each, and if you're doing 2 to 3 a year, if it's, maybe 6,000 points a year or $6,000 in cruises, and then times 3, maybe you get 18,000 points a year. Is that worth paying $150 in cash? It's tough to say. And factoring in, you're not using lunch, but you're not using, clear credit and everything like that. But you already have a platinum, so you don't really need it, unless like you could just pay for somebody's clear and they'll pay you cash for it. Then more the merry. Not more the merrier. Then more power to you. But otherwise, just do the math on it. Like personally, I probably wouldn't do it for that. I mean, do the cruises not code as that and any other card? Like, could you not get a? I don't know. I mean, shouldn't Chase's travel categories be fairly, I guess that maybe CSR. I don't know. I hear they're pretty generous, but I'm not sure which other cards would give you some multipliers on that. I'm sure there's other ones I'm just totally unaware of at the moment, but I would just think about that a little bit. Bojangles is good if you go to a standalone one, not an airport version. Thank you, Han, and thank you. I have to say, I haven't been to Bojangles in a while. Since Amex, since the Amex Gold got updated and now they have the dining credit, I kind of just go to Five Guys now that it's on there. Sorry to say. Acme, what's going on? Mike, there would be a lot less YouTube videos on credit cards if Amex didn't exist. Very true. In fact, we wouldn't even be talking right now. We would not even be face to face right now if Amex didn't exist. Or maybe we would. I would be talking about something else. But that's yes, that's funny. That's a good point. Mr. Sleepyhead, love your name. Always love your name. If Amex cards didn't exist, then the gold card would have been humiliated by the rose gold card. Yeah, it's true. That would have never happened. We would have never had, these shirts wouldn't exist. That's the main thing. Like we wouldn't have to fight CJ all the time on rose gold. In fact, I think he texted me earlier. He was like trying to challenge me to a pull-up contest. I'm like, what are you doing? You're not going to win. It's just not going to happen. So I'm just kidding. He didn't challenge me. I think he wanted to learn something about pull-ups anyway. And okay, so that's a good point. I still don't understand what is high fat. All right, here's the learning. It's learning today. We're learning today. We're gonna look it up together. High, I'm probably even saying it wrong. Let's see. Highfalutin. Pompous or pretentious? You don't want any highfalutin jargon, do you? I don't think you want to have any highfalutin jargon. Yeah, okay. I've never heard. Is that English? I've never heard that. Wow. Is that even how you pronounce it? Hold on. Highfalutin. 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 Sounds German. Just kidding. It's not bad. Highfalutin. How have I never heard this before? I like to pride myself. I usually every day I pull out the dictionary for at least 35 minutes, and I try to learn at least 20 new English words every single day. Isn't that amazing? And highfalutin never came up. Kidding. Time is money, Mike. Absolutely. Jessica said, yeah, he hit a lot of the benefits that overlap for the service member, but for us peasant dependents, we get nothing. So to get military perks, we need luxury credit cards. Yes, yes. Well, at least listen, if they're under MLA, spouse, you can get some free luxury credit cards too. That's pretty good. I wouldn't call yourself a peasant, but I'm kidding. No, that's great. That is great. Just got it as an authorized user on the platinum card. Definitely a cheat code. Oh, for sure. If that's also in my back pocket. I'm like, I'll pay somebody 200. I'll pay someone 250. For the authorized user. On their platinum card. Then I don't have to think about it. I'll cancel gold. I'll cancel everything except for my sapphire preferred. And honestly, what the hell, Delta? Yeah, I'll get my Delta Gold. I'll have basically no annual fees, and I'll pay like 500 a year for a platinum. That'll be cool. That'll be good point. Good point. Let me see here. Highfalutin, unbelievable highfalutin. Question: is the Amex Plat 175K sub still available? Well, I guess we can go to the tape. I guess let's just, like I said, we're looking things up today. From what I have, I haven't seen it in a while. Let's just try a lucky, and see if we can. Oh my God. Wow. I think you got your answer. 175. You want me to apply for you? Just send the social, send all these different things, give me a written permission, and I got you covered. No problems. How funny is that? I don't think I've ever seen 175 on my own. Wow, what are the odds? What are the freaking odds? That's great. That is great. That's fantastic. Yeah, give me that. Take that 175. Give me your info. I'll apply for you, Javier. Appreciate it. Today, Jessica saw 155. Yeah, listen. Classic news, room 5. What's the points? What's going on, man? It's great meeting you out there in New Orleans. That was a good time on that old commercial. Yes, definitely. Yuri says Delta via Air France has no fuel surcharges. Interesting. Really good to know. Requires less miles, definitely. If you cash clear, you get got to. You're always cashing something. Cash and checks, baby. That's funny. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I could see people doing that. But only 3 exits, man. I would rather have the preferred. Yeah, true. Why Five Guys and not Cheesecake Factory? When I had gold, I went to Cheesecake Factory every month and bought $10 gift card. Then once a year, we went there. Well, the issue with Cheesecake Factory and my real beef with them is the last time I went. Now, I don't know if you guys have been there, but I feel like some of you guys have. The Cheesecake Factory in Edison, New Jersey, right in Menlo Park, the Menlo Park Mall. It's attached. The Cheesecake Factory is attached there. Now, I will say this. You just made me remember something. 2 things. One thing, I remember the first time I went to Cheesecake Factory. I think it was actually the first time. I could be wrong, but I literally think the first time was with the gold card. I saw the $10 credit. I didn't really know that I didn't really think to have Grubhub at that time, but I was like, Cheesecake Factory. All right, we're in Menlo Park. Let me use my credit here. And I think I think I literally remember like handing the gold card over to the waiter or waitress, and I said, this card. Oh my God, I can't believe. I think I remember this. I can't believe I haven't thought about this in a while. I handed her the MS Gold card, and I said, I get like $10 a month towards the Cheesecake Factory on this card. How do I do that? Do I tell you about it and you take it off the bill, or how does it work? Oh my God, that was so funny. That was so long ago. I remember doing that. I remember asking like, how does it work? And obviously they don't know. They're not into credit cards. They don't know that there's a partnership with Amex and you get credits back. So and then I think I just said like, all right, I guess I'll just pay for it and figure it out later. And then sure enough, you paid with the gold card and the $10 came back in a statement credit, just like, probably a week later. But I remember that was so funny. Thinking back, because I had no idea how the credit worked. That's how little, that's how little when you first start out. That is wow. That's such a good memory. But my issue with Cheesecake Factory is, other than the waitress not knowing the $10 credit, right, not giving me that status, was it quite literally tasted like straight chemicals. Like I had their burger once, and then right after I gave them a second chance, I had their chicken, and it tasted like. Callously, I've used to refer to it as cyanide, and I don't know what that tastes like, but I would imagine that is what cyanide tastes like, and it just tasted like chemicals, like all that stuff. And I didn't. Eh, I literally stopped. There has never been a time. I don't think. Maybe I'm forgetting, but I really don't think. I go to buffets, cheap buffets. I go all these different things over the years. I've never not finished a plate. I've never not finished food. I ate absolutely everything. This was the only time I ate like a little bit and left it. I literally have never done that ever in my life. So Cheesecake Factory, I just don't go. I just don't go. I can't chance it anymore. It's just not worth it. It's literally not worth it anymore for me. And I get it. That could have just been Menlo Park. I hate, look at this. We're putting them on blast. If everyone's in Menlo Park, don't go there. I'm kidding. It might be fine now. That was 4 years ago, or maybe 3 years ago. But that's why I don't go to Cheesecake Factory. Five Guys, oddly enough, never made me feel bad. It never tasted bad. Well, I've only had it 3 times or 2 times now since having the credit, but in the 2 times, it hasn't tasted fine and never didn't make me upset or anything like that. No issues that I found so far. So that's my beef. What's the point? Okay, here's a multiple clear credit strategy. If your player 2 is on a family plan, does it make sense to separate them so you can get the last $40 or so worth of the cost over the max credit amount? So, never mind, that won't work. But yeah, what you're saying is it makes sense. So he's basically saying like, so I don't know if it's always like this, but I think the first time you ever sign up for Clear, they give you like that special intro bonus, which is, I think they discount your player 2 by enough, or whoever you're buying it for, but player 2 to enough that it would be fully covered under the platinum $199 Clear credit. That's what I did last year. However, when it just renewed, it hit me with like 240 or something like that. So it's about $40 more, which is what he mentioned, the last $40 that is not being covered by the platinum, for you and a player 2. And would I pay $40 a year for Clear, and not have to worry about it? Yeah, I would say so. If I know I'm flying, I've used it a couple times. It seemed pretty cool so far, and I guess it's worth it. But does it make sense to just pay your normal fee of $199 and then have player 2 set up for her own account separately and have her pay her own $199 if you have a platinum card to cover you and you have a green card to cover her, or vice versa? And I think that can make sense. I mean, if you really think about it, the $40 you're going to have to eat that cost, regardless. So if you have a card that you were already paying an annual fee on, like a green and a platinum, yeah, I would think it would make sense to pay, to have a separate account for your player 2, have them pay with the green card, and this way you both pay $199, so technically more, but it's completely covered under those 2 cards, and this way you're not out of $40, and technically, I don't think Clear codes as anything. It's probably, excuse me, I think it probably just codes towards 1x, I'm guessing. I don't think it would count towards 3x. So that'd be crazy if so. But if it's 1x, then at least you're getting an extra 400 Amex points, or I guess an extra $150 and 150 Amex points a year by paying the extra 150 for the green Clear. so kind of like, I'm usually not one to squander a few points, but if I'm Calby, if I'm channeling my inner Calby, he would tell me to do it. He would say, you want the extra 150 points, man? It's going to add up over time, man. Because with his platinum card, he pays for like the online membership with Equinox, because you get like the 300 a year credit, what have you. And he pays like I don't know, I think it's like an annual online membership to Equinox. So he just gets free 300 points. And, for him setting it up, it was worth it. I don't think it's where I don't want to set it up. I don't want to have any ties to Equinox. I don't want to sign up for anything, but I'm lazy like that, So I think that makes sense. It's a good question. Mike, so on the Amex rules of lifetime language, if you got a platinum card with no sign up bonus, are you eligible for one later? So you're saying on the light, if you got a platinum with no sign up bonus, so how you do mean you just like upgraded to a platinum? Like how did you get a platinum card? Or did you mean like did you get it through an AU? How did you get it in the first place? Because if you just applied for a platinum, I don't know how you didn't get a sign up bonus. Maybe maybe you were an AU. Actually, that's a very good question. Like I don't know if it's necessarily what you're asking, but now I'm thinking if you're an AU on a platinum, would that disallow you to get the bonus on the green, the gold, and the platinum? That's a great thought. Maybe you guys have that answer. I actually am going to look that up because I would mention that going forward. It's like, might be cool to be an AU on a platinum, but if you forego all the welcome orders, I don't think it's worth it. Depending on who you are, of course. Like if you're not a points hunter, then who cares? I don't know. I think regardless, if you applied for a card or you upgraded to a platinum or whatever, however you got it with no welcome offer, as long as you own the card yourself, you're not going to be eligible for another platinum card offer. As far as I would answer that, as far as I would do personally, no, I would say you won't get another one. But again, that's why the beauty is in what Cesar and Sledge talk about with upgrading. It's like, who cares? You can get a green and then just take the 30K upgrade to a gold and then take that 50K upgrade from a gold to a platinum. Got 80,000 membership reward points, and they're doing that every year. So it's like, you can. There's a lot of ways you can kind of play with it. Rodrigo, does the $200 resort credit on the Aspire work on gift cards? No, unfortunately not. I think we had some people. We had some correspondents in the field. They tested it out, and I believe they came back as no. So unfortunately, yeah, that's not the only thing I think that wasn't necessarily tested. I don't think anyone actually tested was like, I don't know if this is a thing. I haven't been to a hotel yet that had this. Maybe you guys are aware, but I was thinking, the resort credit, it counts towards room rate and all those different things, and it's not necessarily, it's not broad like the Hilton credit, like the Hilton credit on the Surpass, you can use it towards, the gift shop and all those different things. And technically there is a way to do that too with the Aspire, but it's not kind of on the same subject. But I was like, I wonder if there was a way to buy a gift card at one of the resort properties, how it would code. I don't think it would work. I don't think any gift cards will work with the resort credit, but I think the best way around that is what Sean Lane described on our live stream together, which was, on your, I guess what he calls his room folio, what they call a room folio. So it's like all of your incidentals, stuff that you pay for when you go into the hotel. He likes to, if the hotel allows, usually if they're a little higher, they allow it to prepay the incidentals for the room folio. So like, I think there's a form to fill out, or you can call them up and they charge the card. So he charges like $200 on his Aspire towards a hotel he's going to go to in the future. And so this way, when he goes there, he can order food to the room service, restaurants, bill it to the room, and all of the incidentals that he prepaid will pay for those foods and drinks and stuff. And that does code towards the Hilton Aspire resort credit. So I think that's probably the best way. And it's like, I mean, it's like gift cards, right? I mean, it's essentially like a gift card in a way, and especially since if your hotel stay is a year out, you can prepay $200 now, wait till January, get that extra $200, resort credit, prepay another, and have $400 in instant. If you're trying to have that crazy of a stay. So I think that's interesting. And JJ said, yeah, you got to go to the resort and spend the 200. That's the vanilla way. Yeah, for sure. Filmo, Cheesecake Factory menu is too big. I need to snack before I order. Filmo, you're the guy that, you're the guy that, I was about to make up a lie about you, like, because we met in New Orleans. I was going to make up a lie. Like, yeah, I saw you eating lunch and already had a dinner menu out, Ian, LOL, that's funny. Yeah, the cheesecake story. Javier, thanks, Anthony. No, appreciate you, man. Luke says, if you've ever had the platinum, you would not be eligible. Yes. AUs don't count. Okay, good to know. Good to know. I didn't know that. So if you have an AU, good. Oh, that's actually very good to know. If you have an AU, then you won't make yourself ineligible towards the all the welcome offers on the other cards. So that's cool. I didn't know that. Let me see. Michael Wong's in the house. Oh, sorry, I didn't even mention Luke's in the house. Appreciate you, Luke, for being here. I like the stream that you and Stan did the other day. That was good. I was hanging out in there for maybe half. I think maybe a little over half. I think the last half I was there. So that was a good time. Stanley the Manly. Oh yeah, Michael Wong was popping, man. And then Vincent Pasquale says Cheesecake Factory has some great entrees that aren't too heavy. Yeah, I don't know. I can't. I don't know. I don't know if I can go with that anymore. I'm just not about it. I'm just not about it anymore. I'm just not happy with it. John R. Home from the gym. We'll have to watch the first hour. Not supposed to go live when I'm heading to the gym, Anthony. I'm sorry. I always do this. As soon as John wants to go to the gym, I have to, I start going live, and this way I mess up his reps and sets and everything. But look, John, you're really, if I'm being honest, you really should be watching your favorite creator while you're at the gym. Okay. I just mentioned Luke and Stan. Where do you think I was when I was watching their stream the other night? I was actually, was I even at the gym? I don't know. I've for some reason I watch a lot of Luke's streams when I'm at the gym. There's definitely no correlation with him being the most jacked man in the world. It's just I just happen to be in the gym when he's live, so I think that works out. So I think listen, I get you want to listen to your your Led Zeppelin, your Van Halens, and all that, but you should be listening to. He said, I can't watch when I'm doing Arnold presses or Romanian deadlifts. You should. You should be listening to, like, as you're pulling up hopefully 315 on Romanian deadlift, and you hear like, actually I think the gold card credits are pretty good. That's the way to hype you up. That's funny. Ian says everything from the Cheesecake Factory is coming out of a bag and in a microwave. Yeah, I'm just not about it. And for those who aren't aware, Ian is our residential chef. He's our, you can see it right in the picture. He's the man that if you want to go to about food, that's the expert. That's the residential expert. So hit him up if so. Oh, sorry. Why did I say the Iron Maiden guy? That's right. Strictly the Iron Maiden guy. I remember when I saw John in New Orleans, when we embraced for the first time, I said Iron Maiden, and then we did that. It was cool. John's a great guy, and I'm sure you guys heard all about the meetup and everything. I heard some people talking about it, so it was fun. It was absolutely a lot of fun. It looks like we got to the end here. I think we have the end. I think I missed something actually a little bit earlier. What did I miss here? Can I understand this? Guys, I heard 14% cash back on Rakuten stacked with Chase offer and Amex offer. They're doing 28% off anniversary. So if anyone needs whey protein or any supplements, it's a good time to stack those promo. Look at that. Perfect timing. We're just talking about the gym. That's good to know. Oh, Woodsy came in. Oh, what's going on, Woodsy? Oh, what did I miss? Oh man, I missed a lot. Wait a second. What company at the first mile/points credit card? Oh, what was the first points and miles card? I think it was the Amex Gold. I think it actually was, oddly enough. I think it was Capital One Secured, Kohl's. And in fact, I hate it because I actually, for some reason, still can never get correct which card came first. I really thought I knew, and then I keep second guessing myself, and I haven't looked at Credit Karma to check the dates on both of them. I think it was actually Kohl's first, then Capital One Secured. But I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe it was vice versa. But then, Quicksilver, then Merrick Bank. And then I think the Amex Gold right after that. So very weird lineup, a very weird start to, my whole game with all this. And Oakland, what have I missed? Sorry, I missed you. And then Dex, Anthony cancels the Schwab card. The hero has turned into a villain. Oh no. He's ruined his life by getting rid of the Schwab. It's so true. And but now look, let me show you. Can I bring out the collection? Can I bring out the collection? Let me see. Let me make sure not to dox anything. You don't want any names or anything. Wife and all that. Numbers and all that stuff. So we got, here's our five inks, 5 chase inks that we've gotten this last year so far. And we're actually looking, we actually are going to add one probably in another week if we can. And I think I'll be done. I actually think that I'll be done with my whole ink per quarter plan come next week. And then I just got to hit the welcome offers, of course. But and then I'm going to cool off for a while. I think ink train never stops, but I think it actually stops in this case. And we're gonna take a nice stop at the station. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna regroup, try to enjoy some of these points, lay low for a little bit. Because truthfully, I don't know how much more I can go. I mean, I got 4 in the last year. She got 1. I'm gonna get her a second one next week. So I don't know. I don't know. But that's oh, and Ian, that answers your question. What's the next card on your radar? It's going to be her. She's going to get the Ink Unlimited. I think we're going to have her apply for the Ink Unlimited, and that'll be good. 90K points. Normally, I would probably still opt into the Ink Cash, just because that 6-month timer to hit 6K is just so much easier. But we do have some spend coming up, so we should be able to easily hit the welcome offer on the Ink Unlimited, 6K in 3 months, get the 90K. So otherwise I probably would opt to the Ink Cash. I also just want her to have a 1.5%. Like all this time, she has not had a singular card that has given her more than 1x. I'm a failure. I've been giving her, she just uses her World of Hyatt card for everything because I'm like, why not? But I'm like, we're really losing out on money by you not having a Freedom Unlimited or an Ink Unlimited. So since she has an Ink Cash and she has a Freedom Flex, I'm like, all right, I know we can just product change to the Unlimited from the Cash, but I'm like, let's just apply for the Ink Unlimited. And then you could use that for the, everything for the rest of your life. Oh, Sandru, what's going on? I am mere weeks, not months, away from dropping below 524 status. Can I get a whoop, whoop? Yeah, I could do it. I mean, that's a little cringe, but whatever. Sandru, that's very nice. Very nice, Sandru. I appreciate you. No, that's good. That's good. Yes. Yeah, I know we were talking about it. You have some cards in mind that you're looking to get. So that's great. It's crazy. It's so crazy how high we get above 524. Like I was 724 not long ago, and I think I'm 324 now, and it's probably going to stay that way for a bit of time, probably a while, I would say. So I think that'll be interesting. We'll see. We'll try to keep it low. We might go to 124. We never know. Well, Merrick, absolutely. Luke, Sears launched the Discover card, first rewards credit card. Sears launched 1986. So that was the first rewards credit card, huh? So wait, that was the first rewards credit card. So I guess, oh man, I need to ask Joe. Where's Joe? When American Express released the green card in 63, did it earn points? Was it just a cashback card? Never really thought about it. I think I'm correct. I think it was 63 when Amex released the green. I wonder what I guess it probably was cashback, or maybe it didn't anything. Maybe it didn't offer anything. I don't know. Got to Joe Barretto. John R. Luke still has the. What's funny? Speaking of the Sears card, I make fun of it every now and again, but it somehow always comes up. Wait a second, Ian. One of my clients' father was CEO of Sears during that time period, late 80s. Well, look, I have an issue with the CEO of Sears. Okay, when I was first trying to get my first credit card ever, I was denied by Santander, and I was denied by something else, and I was denied by Sears. How the hell are you going to get freaking denied by Sears when they were going bankrupt? Like literally they had closing signs, liquidation sale, all these different things. I go to apply for their Sears card, they denied me. And I don't care if you guys tell me, oh, they're just not accepting new applicants because they're going bankrupt. That's not, no. Kohl's gave me the chance. Sears didn't give me the chance. So forever, whatever. Screw Sears. Screw them. Although I did get some nice collared shirts from them over the years. I will say. What's up, guys? Hold on. We could do a Luke impression. Does he do the hands? Why am I not remember? He said, what's up, guys? Luke here. Right. And today we have to talk about something less talked about, which is American Express. Something, as we all know, we love American Express. Something like, is that a good? I'm going to do it, Luke. Not a Luke. I'm going to do an impression of a lot of people. I think April Fool's Day. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do an impression of a lot of people in the community. We'll see. If RJ Financial was here, I would do a mean RJ Financial. I've been doing a mean RJ Financial recently. Some people said it's the best RJ Financial they've ever heard, and I think I might keep it on the wraps. Unless he's here. But I think I do a pretty good impression. Especially speaking to him in New Orleans. I was really able to nail it down, the cadence and everything. What's up, Don Kim? Volume off because still working. Hey, listen, anyway we can help. Sandshrew. Oh, wow, for the woo woo. Wow. See that? You never know where a woo woo's going to get you. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, Sandshrew. For that 10 spot. I really appreciate that. And, I could do it again. I could do a woot. I feel like I can't do a woot correctly. Why do I sound so weird saying, like I hear in my mind like what I want it to sound like a like woot woot, but I just can't do it. I'm sorry. It's worse than my WaveBot. It's crazy. So, but thank you so much, Sandra, for that, man. I appreciate you. Arno, hello, Anthony. Does the Blue Business Plus show up on personal credit? Man, this is why I would love to have a definite on everything. I always second guess myself. I'm like, well, if it's a business card, it shouldn't show up on your personal credit. I think aren't the only business cards like the Capital One cards that actually end up showing on your personal credit. Like when you go for a loan, it'll show up there. But like the Chase business cards don't show up towards the personal credit. Like if you have balances on there, it won't show up on a loan application, all that. But I just never heard anybody like talk about Amex. I don't think it does. But again, I'm like 99% sure, and then I always leave a little bit of a doubt myself, but maybe you guys know. Sears is my best, or you're really trolling now. Come on, Sears is your best ever earning card. Give me a break. What are you earning? Friggin', what are you earning? Some dress shirt with some Hanes boxers. Every 500 you spend, get some Hanes boxers. Come on, give me a break. Fingers open and together. Oh, fingers open and together. What? Well, not like this. Is it? I don't know. I have to watch. Luke, best RJ impression. Just be by yourself. No. All right, fine. I will say, because I think who was I saying this to? I was saying this to somebody, but my wife had the pleasure of talking to RJ Financial. And we love him. We absolutely love him. Everybody knows that. Obviously, no malice. We love RJ. But my wife was talking to him, and I forgot where I was. I think I might have got to go. I ran somewhere to get a drink, and she talked to him for like 15 minutes. And I think they were talking about like products and stuff. So listen, he has game. All right, he chatted my wife up. RJ Financial chatted my wife up for a while, 15 minutes. And I think they talked mainly about computers and Apple products, Apple watches. In fact, JP Knowledge called it an iWatch, and RJ said, I said, well, I just never heard it called an iWatch in like 10 years. I can understand if you like don't know what you're talking about, but I just haven't heard that in like a decade. And JP's like, well, listen, that's what I thought it was called. But apparently, I forgot what it was. Somehow they got on the conversation of I don't know, I'm meeting someone in New Orleans. Like obviously no one's trying to hook up in New Orleans, but I forgot how it was something funny like that. And she said he told her, he was like, statistically, it's like statistically, it's like an over 90% chance that I would not meet someone out here, or I would not want to meet someone out here, or something or 90% chance I'm just not going to meet someone like a girl, meet a girl out there to have fun with. He's like, statistically, like a 90% chance, like I'm just not gonna find a girl out here. Like it's like no point. Like statistically, just not gonna happen. So I just thought it was so funny. And then I think I was talking to him after that and everything. But that's pretty funny. Filmo says I could do a pretty good Sherfu impression. Really? I would like to hear that. I actually would really like to hear that. I forgot. I mean, is it what's going on, Credit War? What's going on, Credit Warriors? Yeah, there's so many different things. Dugras is easy. Um, everybody's done that. I won't do that. Sledge. What's happening here? I didn't think this was going to happen, but it turned into an impressions contest. So now I'm doing impressions. Now this is my thing. I do impressions of other YouTubers in space. So that's what I do. But thanks for being here, man. Tristan, if Amex didn't exist, we would have never gotten travelers. It's true. It's very true. Do your Sledge impression again now that Sledge is here. Hey, listen, I wasn't doing a Sledge impression earlier. Um, one of the things that I like to say from Sledge, I don't know why it just stuck out in my mind, but it's the thing I jump to when I want to do when I think about doing a Sledge impression, which is there was one video Sledge did a while ago talking about. I mean, do I have it here? Sledge already knows. There it is. We were talking about Merrick Bank. He was talking about Merrick Bank because I think he was going through all of his cards. And it's just funny because no one else on earth has the Merrick Bank card, just me and Sledge. Like really, we bonded over that once, that we both had a Merrick Bank card. So on his video, I remember him saying like, okay, let's see. This is so bad. Someone's going to make fun of me on another stream. You sound something like, I think that me and and Anthony Venture, the only two people. I can't do it. It's so bad. I'm sorry. Just cancel me now. Just cancel me. But you said the only two people on this earth with the Merrick Bank card, and it's so hard to do your deep voice. It's actually kind of ridiculous how freaking do the Sledge impression again. It's actually ridiculous how deep your freaking voice is, and even in person. Like it's kind of ridiculous. Like you don't even have to try. Do you hear what I sound like? And if I wanted to go really deep, like what's popping? I don't know, something like that. It's just not to your level. Do your research on Anthony being ashamed of the Merrick Bank card. I'm not. Am I ashamed of it? I mean, I won't say I'm ashamed, but maybe they're ashamed of me because they canceled on me. What can I do? John says that you do it, John. The Sledge impression's easy. I don't mean just the words. Like you have to sound like the person, Do JP knowledge. Oh, I would like to do JP. Matt Clausen, I don't know. I feel like I see. I like doing voices of people who are like very distinct, like very, very distinct. Matt Clausen is fairly even keeled in his delivery. And I think I would just have to adjust the volume to get it right. And then I would have to figure out like the best thing to say. He's like, okay, so today we have some tidbits, which is certain things that are happening. JP Knowledge though, he's like a freaking rocket. I was talking to him at the Delta Sky Club. I had such a great time talking to him. But on his videos, he is like a rocket. When he gets on, he's is it how's it going? How's it going, everyone? And yeah, how's it going, everyone? And welcome back to the channel. So now we're gonna be talking about. He starts going. He's like, Hyatt is one of the best chains, and the reason why I think it's one of the best chains is because it's best value. But is that actually true? He just hits you with like the most advanced knowledge, aka JP knowledge, as possible, and he just goes. He just absolutely goes. Like I try to see if he like cuts the video at all. Like I want to see when he stops talking to because when you're recording videos, you mess up a little. You'd be like, God damn it, why can't I freaking say this correctly? And then you re-say it correctly, and then you cut it in. He just goes. Like I never see it cut. He just like goes through everything because it's so much experience he has. So maybe if I had more knowledge, I actually could do the impression better. But he's just on it. That's why I think my RJ is best. Ian says, like, make a triangle with your fingers and then keep them all spread like a spider web. Luke does it all the time. What's up? How did this turn into this? What's up, guys? Luke here. Okay. All right. One day I'll improve on all of these and I'll try to do better. Wow, that's pretty good. What's good? Which one? Which one is okay? Not too bad. Which one is not too bad? Is that my Sledge, or you mean my RJ? Which one do you think? You're going to make me wake up with a nightmare. Yeah, I'm going to wake up to a freaking cease and desist, and then the YouTube channel's gone. Everyone's going to cancel me. It's not trash, but it's trash. Do you? Oh, yeah. Ian Mescal. The only way I could get that deep is if I do the do your research, like something like that. It's the only way I could get it down. Do your research on my opinion being more important than everyone else's. You know what I really love, Sledge? I love your outro where you talk about memberships. You're like, join the membership, join the membership, join the membership. I love it. I love it. So that's good. So I wonder which impression is good. I want to know. Lalit, oh, what's up, Lalit? Just joining, man. Where are we at if Amex never existed? Credit one full send and get the ball. I mean, yes. Yeah, it's that's where we're at. It's just get credit one cards and then profit. That's step one is get the credit one card. Step two is profit. So no, I mean, I think if Amex never existed, it was like I was just thinking of all the things that I've gotten over the years, and it's like if I didn't have Amex, I would have had less experiences. I don't know. If Lalit, if only people have talked to you more off camera, because you have an interesting cadence to your speech in person, Lalit. I actually do a good Lalit impression, but I don't think it would translate from like videos to in real life. I don't think it would translate as much. But I do a mean Lalit, but I can't beatbox, so I can't do that. So that's I can't do that. RJ impression was the best. Okay, nailed R. Okay, hell yeah. Let him know. Whenever he does those Q&As, if you guys remember, please, once he does those those Q&As every month, please, for me, just say, hey, can you do an Anthony Venture impression? So this way we're even, and maybe he doesn't know that I did all this. I think that would be that would be cool. I think that would be funny. Can you imagine? I don't know. How would you do an Anthony Venture impression? You probably would. You'd probably be like, "Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Who knows? Nobody knows. This is what I'm doing right now, though." Probably. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you would do that. Like, look at that. I'm even doing my own impression. Oh, Chad does a. Oh wait. Chad does a mean and Sledge. Really? I would actually like to hear that. I mean, I used to do a good Chaz Money Minutes. I used to do what did I used to say? I forgot what I used to say. I used to be like, I used to say like as if you were like talking to me, just like Anthony. I think I used to say, and you can never leave money on the table. You can never like something like you absolutely do not want to leave money on the table. But again, it's like I can't get the voice as deep. Unfortunately, maybe I have to do more like screaming and stuff. If you scream, I used to scream back in the day, and you like, it's just a weird thing to say, but when you scream, you can actually make your voice artificially deeper for an extended amount of time. You also can damage your vocal cords, but I did that for a little bit, and I got a pretty decently deep voice during that time. Steve, I met Sledge and Stan randomly during the NOLA meetup. So how about Resi? Have enjoyed tremendous restaurants to include Gris and Nola's Garden. Steve, what? We didn't meet? You met Sledge and Stan. Man, we didn't, did we not cross paths? Or am I like, did I just not, I don't know. Am I missing something? So how about Resi though? I mean, I like Resi. There's a place not too far from me that is a Resi restaurant, and we had a good, burgers, fries, and a drink and everything like that. I think it came out to like 75 with tip. So hey, $50 covered. Under the Amex Gold Resi credits. I thought that was pretty cool. But so many people that are like, there's just no Resi near them and what have you. So I get it. But not always. It's not always, you're not always in a spot that can do it. Oh, at the World War II Museum. Oh, that's right. I know a few of you folks went had some fun over there. That's right. Chad says, yeah. And now with my new microphone holder, I can do a decent. That's all you need. That's complete with the Tesla and everything. Which is honestly funny because I haven't been in the car for like freaking 2 months, and not really many people have noticed, and I'm like really happy about that. I'm like, because Calby can't live down the cat. He's still a cat in everybody's eyes, no matter what. But nobody really cares if I'm here or in the car, so it's freaking awesome. But yeah, all you need is the microphone and just start saying I don't know, and then you become Anthony Venture. It's great. Lonnie's interesting. Lonnie. So I had the pleasure of hanging out with Lonnie for a couple, like maybe about an hour at the Waldorf in New Orleans. He was just so calm. He's like, I love this. He's like, I love this. And I wonder I guess. So I like, if I had to do a Lonnie impression, it would be mostly on the head movements, like on his videos. He's like, so I guess it's like, um, like if you, one of the things, if you're talking about American Express, is player 2. Insert awesome graphic right here. And again, not to mention some other good benefits as well. But first, let me also mention that, it's a lot of head, it's a lot of like engagement, a lot of eye contact. So I think that's like kind of how I'm with Lonnie. Lonnie loved it because it was highfalutin. Yes, we learned highfalutin. Highfalutin. Honestly, if Chad was here during that time, he would have told me what that meant. I feel like Chad has an incredible epistemology of vocabulary. he has incredible vocabulary. Every time I don't know a word, he always knows a word. So I think you would have known highfalutin. I didn't know what it was. Wait, Calby isn't it a cat? Listen, man. Once you get past midnight, then he's back to human. I mean, he's back to cat form. So that's one of the things. He doesn't want people to know, but I just say that. Sledge. Oh, Lonnie does the shoulder roll during his videos. Is it like one of these? He's like, but we also have to never forget that, something like that. Chad was there. Okay. He was doing the rearrange of the room. Ian says, which creator at the meetup had the most followers? It's funny. I did take notice of that. So the top was Daniel Braun. Yeah, right. No, but there's nobody else. I'm trying to make sure there's no blind spots. No, Daniel Braun was. So he's 160,000. So he was the highest, followed by RJ Financial at 50 something thousand, 53. Followed by RJ at 53. Like those are the two top guys there. Then I guess Spencer at 22 is he at right now? 21, 22, 23,000. And then I think Luke, and then I don't know, Stan. There's a lot of people in between, but yeah, that was we had some friggin' heavy hitters out there, man. I hate to keep beat a dead horse, but Daniel Braun is he is as tall as everyone says he is. So basically, like I would say, like his head was about here, about like my hit right here was at his basically his chin. Like my forehead probably could have hit his chin, maybe. Maybe. So, and don't even talk about Spencer. Standing next to Spencer is horrible because it's like literally three heads above me. It's crazy. He looks down at Daniel. Yeah, it was Daniel, RJ, and sort of pretty much everyone else. It's Daniel, RJ, and everybody else. Is Daniel the guy who used to use? Yeah, that's him. Who used to wear the Henley shirts, or always wears? I think does he still wear it? I think he was wearing it there, actually. Emor said, "How many people were there at the meetup?" I'm going to try to make the next one. As near as we could tell, probably should have counted people, but as near as we could tell, like 50 plus. I think that's like the safest answer. Some people were like, "Oh, I think there's 80 here." I didn't think so. I could be wrong, but I was thinking maybe 50. If you're really pushing, I think 60. 80%. I don't know. Is it 75% creators? Maybe something like that. It's actually astounding to see. Like I don't know if you guys watched my New Orleans video, but I showcased at one point everybody standing around or everybody marching into the Waldorf, and like that was just 35 of us. Look at that. That was just 30. Oh man, another one. That was just 35 of us walking in there. But it's so crazy to think because I was looking everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's a famous YouTuber out there, and it's so insane how many people are in our niche. It's so crazy. Like this definitely was like not a thing just a few years ago. Just a few years ago. None of us existed. We weren't even in existence yet. It really, what, like a few years ago we had the big, like the, Sebi Sherfu, Braun, RJ, I think Luke might have been Luke. I think Luke was creating content around then, I think. And everyone was just getting started. It's like it's just crazy how far we've all kind of came, how big this space has gotten, um and also the man of the hour Xavier too. He came in hot. He was the man of the hour, the VIP of the entire trip. 50 to 60 sounds like a safe estimate. Yeah, I would say so. Chad, you're more than debris to me. Definitely wasn't 80. Yeah, I think 55 maybe. Is it easier to categorize the credit card creators by their shirts they normally wear in their videos? Well, yeah, I mean, it's actually not a bad, because like I was wearing this. RJ had his black shirt on. Luke had a nice, like a collared, like mini button shirt thing. That's nice. I think Daniel Brown had the Henley. You know, Calvi had his nice little sweater that he always wears. Uh, Chad wore Sledge's shirt to the meetup, and Sledge wore Sledge's shirt as well. I think you can. I think you really can categorize people by their shirts. I mean, the only thing I will say, Jake Mercure did not wear his. I think people love him for the Blues Clues shirt, right? Like the I don't know, stripes or the plaid, whatever it is. People like him for that shirt, and he wears it. But I don't think he was wearing that. I think he was wearing a more regular shirt, I think, unless I'm wrong. Check and Scott Ray love Under Armour. RJ Polo, Daniel Henry, Anthony Amex shirt. Yeah. I mean, you really can. You really can get us all. Oh yeah, of course. That's right. Joe had his Oldie Mehente shirt too. You can't forget that. Yeah, Phil was so much fun, and Philmo actually did look like this when I saw him in person. Believe it or not, he pulled up. He said, "Hey, don't." I'm just kidding. He actually didn't look anything like that, and I was surprised. And he thought he was going to get me. Philmo thought he was going to get me. He came up to me. He said he was like acting all confident. He's like, "Hey, how's it going?" He didn't think I knew that I knew. I don't think he knew that I knew that was him, And I was like, "Oh, hey, Philmo." He's like, "How do you know? How'd you know?" So that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Joe should sell some Waypump merchandise. I mean, at least, like, listen, I've been saying for a while, Sledge should have some hats that say "Do your research." I've been saying that for a while. I think Joe needs to sell some of his Waypaw shirts. Absolutely. I think Luke probably should have some Anconi shirts. I mean, it's such a thing that you see that comment everywhere. Like you see the Anconi comments everywhere. There's just certain phrases like Chad leaving money on the table. Like Chad literally should have a shirt that's a table and there's money on it, and like maybe a hand going to swipe it or something. And that's the shirt. Like that would be nice. I think people would love that. And John was wearing the Iron Maiden. That's right. If John is hanging out, it's the Iron Maiden shirt. Probably other cool. It'd be funny if RJ had a clothing line and it's literally just selling black polos. It would be cool though, because if he could have, that would be cool if he had like his an outline of his face, maybe like on a pocket or something. I think that might be cool. That might be interesting. Michael Robbins, hello, fellow credit junkies. Cheers. Hell yeah. Appreciate you being here, man. Steve said, I do admire you content providers' willingness to extend yourselves publicly. Appreciate it and use your information to stay on top of ever-evolving possibilities. I mean, it's a little, I will say, it's a little scary sometimes. You don't know who people are over the internet. The thing is that always has, not worried me, but the only thing I've always thought about is like, well, there's only, like, I meet a certain amount of people, but there's always a lot of people that you just aren't aware of. And then, maybe because I actually heard some stories. I won't mention who, but some other like big creators, like huge ones. And they've mentioned like people have met them at like addresses connected to them, like PO boxes and stuff like that. So it's like, it's weird. Like when you get to a certain level, people are a little weird at times. So it's interesting. It's interesting. But hey, listen, that's the what is it? The price you pay, well, I guess fame, which would be anything putting yourself on camera. Price of fame is privacy, I think is the price for it. So that's just kind of what you give up if you, but again, our niche is so small. Like that's why I love this friggin' niche, because we are so small. Like forget it. It's tough to deal with high numbers. Like in this niche, once you get to, you guys' level, like, 10K above, like that's big. Like, you're big time. And and that's large, for our community. But again, in the grand scheme of things, like any entertainment YouTuber who has, you can easily, not easily, but you can get 100,000 subscribers. That's 10x the amount of possible people that would know you. It's just pretty crazy when you hit those numbers, because like Mr. Beast talks about it, and obviously he's the most ridiculous example. But 300 million subs, he says he can't walk into a Walmart without people recognizing him. So the scales are there. It's pretty wild. It's interesting. Well, when the Filmo channel launches, there will be a Cage of Nashville shirt. That's right. You did coin the phrase before I can get to it. So I love it. What do we have so far? Because I was trying to remember everything. We had Nashville, which is Nashville. Then I went to St. Augustine, which was a wholesome Nashville. So it was like really ridiculously crazy, very crowded at that time in New Year's, but it was wholesome and nobody was like drunk or anything like that. So that was cool. And I think there was another one. I can't remember. I can't remember what it was. I don't know if I had one for Vegas. It was like something else Nashville, but now New Orleans is Cajun Nashville or French Nashville, depending who you're talking to. So yeah, that's so I like that we have a bunch of Nashvilles. Yuri, will there be a Nashville meetup? I don't know. I will say, having gone to New Orleans, I actually it's gonna sound crazy. I never basically we had a 10-year ban on Nashville. We said we're not going back for 10 years. We went like 3 times in 1 year, and we said we're just not going back. We went to New Orleans, and we actually we were like, actually, I could see myself going back to Nashville. Like the juxtaposition, like as crazy as Nashville is, it's nothing. It was really nothing compared to Bourbon Street, and it's really not anything too insane. But like, if you have your wife with you and stuff like that, it's just not a cool place to be walking around with her and just worrying about that. But Nashville was easy to walk around with her. I mean, theoretically, one guy almost wanted to fight, but that's not really. He was trying to like test me or anything, but that was such a small thing, and you don't really worry about those people. He's more or less just drunk and trying to have a good time. But you just have more space in Nashville. Bourbon Street's like a tiny street. Nashville is like 3 times the size, and you can kind of enjoy it. And I do like that Nashville does have so much, I guess, real estate. Like this, what is it? I forget who their names are. Is it Luke Combs' bar? I forget whose bar. Somebody's bar, and they have like 4 different levels, and there's like a party on each level. But you go to the rooftop, and there's not too many people there. You hang out, you can talk. So we'll see. Memphis, let's go to Graceland. Let's do it. Film of Bourbon Street was, I'll never be back. It was interesting. Oh my goodness. Well, look, I actually gonna have to go pick someone up from their job, so that's what I'm going to be doing. But I want to thank everyone for being here for this stream, maybe slightly earlier than normal, to talk about Chad's challenge, which is, what if Amex never existed? I think it was good. I appreciate the challenge, Chad, and the idea, and I thought this was fun. So thank you also, Xavier, for the super chat early on, 2 spot, Steve for the 5 spot as well, and teaching me. Oh God, oh God, I'm already forgetting. Falloton? Yeah, it's Falloton. It's like prestigious or pompous. Mike for of course getting some AnthonyVenture shirts, and also for the 10 spot. Appreciate you for that, sir. Paul with the awesome book collection. If Amex didn't exist, Karl teaching us about Karl Malden. Remember, we went through that, and we learned that Traveler's Checks and Amex commercials in '86. We learned about his work, and then Sandrew with the woot woot with the 10 spots. So thank you all for the super chats very much. It means a lot. To me, sounds like you're a pickup artist. Thanks. Beale Street is similar to Bourbon. Oh, is it really? Beale Street is okay. Good to know. I won't go there. But yes, have a good night. I guess. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy. Be safe on this Wednesday night. Have a good time. Have good laughs. Good times with people. And just keep having fun. Keep enjoying life. And I guess I'll see you at some other point in the future, probably next week. Probably next week. Probably next week. All right. Thank you all so much for being here. I guess I always like to go through Mike Newland, John, Yuri for being here, Filmo, Sledge, Chad, MR, Michael, Steve again, Vincent, MR, Sledge again, Chad again. Appreciate you all for being here whenever I go live nowadays, and enjoy. And I appreciate every single one of you. Thanks so much.